Whoa. So hopefully more people will find that. Let's see, here comes some more people. All right. So as you guys come in, let me know if you have any questions. Quizzes are graded, so you can take a look at those. I have not updated the grades in Canvas yet to include the last quiz. Everybody doing all right? It's crazy. We're almost there. It's crazy. Did I post the? Yes, good. Oh, here we go. What's going on here? Is everybody in? Let's see, Catherine. What's going on here? This is weird. All right, I think people are. All right, that's funny. People are trying to access the wrong meeting. That's fantastic. Oh, Jeebus, help me. All right, hold on, everybody. I didn't mean to make it so. When I updated the modules with the new links, I clicked the box saying notify students that this has changed. So I don't know why, unless you've turned off notifications through Canvas, which would be a really bad idea for you to do that. All right, so Alexander made it, good. Who else was over there? Let me see. Hold on, everybody. All right, let's see if that'll work. Catherine is not here yet, right? I don't see her. All right. Hopefully she figures that out. Let me do this. Just to hang out for a minute. Let's see. Oh boy. All right. All right. All right. So just send an email out to everybody. So are we having a Zoom class today still? Yes. All right. This is getting crazy. Oh, there you go. Somebody made it. Catherine, did you make it yourself or did you see the email I just sent? Because there's several people in the same boat. I don't know how to ask this correctly. Oh, all right. Well, all right. I don't know what to tell you. Let's see. I certainly didn't try to make them confusing. Do you have a specific question, Sandy? Let me see. Oops, shit, wrong button. No? Yes, maybe? No? Oh, God. What is going on? All right. I love you guys so much. There are people who, oh, good, you're here. Okay. Some people were waiting for my extra office hours. Some people were waiting for other meetings. All right, for the line of best fit in R, was I supposed to put that in part D? I have no idea. Let me see. Yeah, this wasn't, all right. No, I don't understand, no. Part A is where you put the line of best fit in R. Part B was your scan. Part C was telling me what R meant. Yeah, exactly. You've got a line of best fit. You figured out a line of best fit that since R is pretty strong, it should make good predictions. So part D was just use the line to make a prediction now about Connecticut. Why about Connecticut? Because Connecticut has 0.384, 38.4% holding a bachelor. So you make a prediction and then you compare it to the actual number. Um, uh, all right. So for the opinion question for part E, um, I mean, the minute I give an example, everybody's going to put that for their corrections, but you just have to explain. And there's more than one answer for this. And not every answer is so people will accuse me of trying to get you to say that the more educated people will vote for Biden, which is not what I'm trying to get anybody to say. That is not even the fully correct interpretation. So there are, all right, here's a really far-fetched one. You ready? Here, let me do one from an opinion I don't hold. So here we go. Colleges indoctrinate young people into liberal thinking. So if you have a college degree, you have been brainwashed into believing the Democrats, or maybe somebody would put Democrats or something fantastic like that, into their line of thinking, and thus you would vote for somebody insane like Joe Biden. Obviously, I don't hold those views. I think this semester has been the hardest semester for me to even pretend to try to keep my views unknown. But yeah, so that's an example answer. If you hate Joe Biden, you love Trump, that's an example answer you can give. And certainly some conservative talk show hosts have that same opinion. I'm brainwashed, apparently. So, but that's a valid, I would give you full credit for that. I'm not going to grade based on if you answer something related to how I think about things. No, that's not the point. So that was your option. That was your chance to explain the very the evidence that there is a correlation, to explain it in some way. Does that make sense? So to the some people said, well, this correlation doesn't really exist. Well, yes, it does. It does, but it doesn't necessarily mean what it seems to mean on the surface. I don't know if that helped. Did that help at all? You just have to tell me two things. Why might this correlation exist? And then secondly, why might California have bucked the trend a bit, right? More people actually voted for Biden in California than we would predict. Is that, you guys with me on that? Okay. Does that make sense, Alexi? Okay. Let's see. What about Sandy? Did I answer all your stuff? So for part C, quiz 9, do we just talk about the numbers? Part C is the prediction question, right? No, part C is the interpret. Okay. Yeah, there's two parts to part C. There's interpret R. Was it weak positive correlation? Was it strong negative? Whatever. And the second question is, what does that tell me about the line for this data? And there's a couple different ways to answer that. Does that make sense?
I had a quick question about that one too.
Okay.
Like I understand the whole interpretation part, but I had trouble understanding what it asked us about the slope.
Slope, I didn't ask you about slope. So that part C, interpret R as the strong negative or whatever, right? That's interpret R. And some of us only did that. And the second part is, what does this tell me about the line? So one way you can answer that is, what does it mean if R is closer and closer to 1 or -1? What does that mean about the data points in the line?
There's a stronger correlation.
But be more specific. Visually, what does it mean about the data points in the line? Yes, Shalimar, yes. They're closer. In fact, if R was 1 or -1, where would the data points have to be?
Right on the line.
Right on the line. I love it. So the closer R is to 1 or -1, the tighter the lines are. I mean, the data points are to the line. So that's one way to answer this is the data point should be relatively close to the line because R is pretty strong. Or you could say, since R is close to 1 or -1, I will trust the line to make predictions.
Okay, I understand now. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. This is all good stuff. Thankfully, you have a teacher that lets you make corrections. And I like to ask the same kind of questions on the final, so you'll do that much better then. Okay, yeah, just let me know. I like it. That's how this works. It's not a one-way conversation. It's always a two-way conversation. Anybody else? Everybody else okay? You guys doing all right? Have you had a chance to notice? I did find, so over the weekend, my weekend was crazy. And thankfully I found the video I made for last semester's class. I used the exact same practice final I did last semester. So I finally figured out how to port that into the Canvas shell for us. And I put that up there. So the videos of solutions for the practice final is up in Canvas. You can take a look. So what I want to focus on today, it's really up to you guys what we focus on. We can do more example problems. If you don't like what we're talking about, you can go back and start working on corrections to quizzes and ask questions about those, right? Everybody could benefit from that. The nice thing is if you have quizzes you haven't corrected yet, that would be good study and you get points for doing it. So most ways you study, you don't get points for it. This way you do. Can you go over number 9 on the practice exam? Oh, all right. And you understand the reason why I didn't do it, right? Yeah, okay. So yeah, it's extra credit. So it's using that larger, hold on, let me pull this sucker up here. Where are you? Oh shit, I'm in the wrong. Where are you? Is that you? Oh, here it is. Yeah, we did this much together. That's right. So let's see, which one was it again? Number 9. There you are. All right, let me pull this up here. Beep, beep. Get it there. So really, I'll focus on the most important steps. So it still has the same 5 steps as any hypothesis test. It's just that, oh shit, I gotta plug this in.
Bluetooth mode.
Is it?
Bluetooth connected.
Oh. So we've got a sample of 37 male students. We have a sample of 51 female students. Test the claim that the mean scores are the same. Right, so one difference is the hypothesis statements will not have numbers in them because we're curious about how mu1 and mu2 relate. So just because I mentioned men first, I'm going to make men mu1. So mu1 is men, or group 1, I should say. Group 1 is men and group 2 is women. So the alternate hypothesis would be not equal to. Is that cool? So how many tail tests would that be?
2.
Two-tailed test. I like it. Kick ass. Somebody's chatting that answer to me. All right. Oh, where am I? Okay. And then, the second step is, oh, this one's a little more evil. I didn't really mean to make this evil. This one's got sample standard deviations, and that's really section 10.1. So let's make this, I'm sorry. So if you've already tried to do this, I'm sorry. That's too bad. And I'll tell you this, it's because if we do, what do I have to use if I only know S?
T-scores.
And what would the degrees of freedom be for this problem?
36?
No.
No?
Nope. Because I have two samples, don't I? And the formula for the degrees of freedom for this kind of problem is absolutely disgusting. I mean, it's still something we just throw some shit in and we can figure out what they are, but yikes. And that's why I did the one with where we know the population standard deviation, then we don't have to worry about that. That's the section I assigned for extra credit. So let's go ahead and make those sigmas. Then it's going to match up with what you had to do at the extra credit. And again, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, so let me just get to the point. Both ends are greater than 30, right? And now I made sigmas known, so I can use z-scores. Step 3 would be just get the z-scores. Is everybody, let me know if I lose you at some point or if you just want me to get through with this. This is extra credit. Two-tailed test, 0.01, that would be negative 2576 and positive 2576 for the rejection region, right? So this is all very familiar so far. It's a two-tailed test. With alpha 0.01, so you can look that up. The fourth step is where things are really different. Z star is now going to be x bar 1 minus x bar 2 divided by the square root of sigma 1 squared over n1 sigma 2 squared over n2, blah, blah, blah. So I have two samples worth of information. I have two populations worth of information. I have to combine those somehow. So that's why everything's kind of doubled. There's two sigmas and two x bars and all that kind of crap. So then you just throw the shit in there. You just throw the average of the men in for x bar 1, the average of the women in x bar 2. You've got their standard deviations. You throw those into sigma 1 and sigma 2. You got their n's, 37 and 51. Are you guys at all with me? We're very used to Z star's formula changing based on the situation. If I'm dealing with percentages, it really changes, right? P hat minus P over the square root of P Q over N is very different. If I got two samples, this is what it looks like. So it has to change for different situations, but it means the same thing. And then, whatever you get, I'm just not going to spend a lot of time on this because it's extra credit. You do the same thing. If it falls in here, you fail to reject. If it falls out here, you reject the null. And the conclusion, you write it the exact same way. So most of the steps are the same, except this step, there's no numbers, and this step, a bigger, badder formula.
That's the 10.2 extra credit?
Yes,
Okay.
10.2. This is section 10.2. Holy crap. What are you doing, Pen? What is that? No idea. Oh, anyway, sorry. I'm using the wrong way to write on this thing.
So is there not going to be a question like this on the final?
There will be one in the bonus section just to reward people who do this extra credit.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome. By the way, all the formulas will be on the final exam. There'll be at the very end, there'll be a sheet of formulas. And I'm going to, at the very, very end, there'll be sheets, the z-score, t-score, chi-square score stuff, right? Just in case you don't have yours right there handy or something happens. Here, while I'm talking about, is that all right for number 9? Is everybody okay with that? Okay. So let me do this. I want to take a minute and make sure you all understand how tomorrow is going to work. Not tomorrow, Wednesday. I'm giving 2 finals tomorrow, but your final is on Wednesday. So here is the link. The same place the link was for today's meeting. There's office hours I'm having tomorrow afternoon for just general office hours for all of my classes. Are you guys with me? So if you want to come in 1:30 to 3, I'm there. And then of course, on the day of the final, I'm going to be in class at 12. I'm going to be on Zoom at 12:30. Everybody listen, you get ready. Final starts at 1:45. Be here at 1:45. Actually log in at 1:40 if you're not going to log in for office hours, just to be sure there's no technical problems, because a couple minutes after the final starts, I'm not going to let anybody else in the room, because the final is going to be open. If somebody comes in 10 minutes late, that means that's 10 minutes that I don't know what you've been doing. If you looked at the final and you got help or whatever, I don't know. Everybody's camera is going to be turned on. It's going to be exciting. We're all going to hope for good Wi-Fi. We'll find out. And if you have any technical problems, if you get disconnected, you can't get reconnected, just shoot me an email and we'll figure it out. Okay. Don't freak out. Don't think that means you're going to fail. Everybody, including me, has had technical issues at the worst moments. Trust me. So everybody understands, me included. All right. Any questions about how things are going to work for Wednesday? Okay. I'll probably have the finals graded by the next day. So if I'll say this again when we have our final, but you can email me and I can tell you how you did. Because I don't know how long it takes for WebAdvisor to update once I put those in there. All right. And go ahead.
Are we going to, so for the final, are we just going to have like the actual test like on our computer screen, or are we going to be allowed to?
It'll be just like the quiz.
Gotcha.
You'll be able to print it out if you want to, so you can do the work on the final if you want to.
Okay.
You don't have to print it out. Yeah. So it's going to be just like that. You'll go to the one place to get the final, and then you go to where it says submit final here to submit it the same way.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else, guys? Any other questions about how it's going to work on Wednesday? You guys feeling all right? You guys feeling good that it's almost over? Yay, almost over. So then I can just sit at home and do nothing at all, not even class for a long time. Yay, Jeff. Thanks, man. All right. It's all. So, does anybody take an intercession class?
I am.
I'm teaching one. You are? Okay, good. Have fun with that. It's going to be exciting. The vaccine cannot get here soon enough. Please, vaccine. It's going to be so weird teaching in a classroom again. I'm going to feel like it's my first time. Oh my gosh. All right. So what do you guys want to look at? Do you guys if you have any specific questions, let me know. If you just want to, I know the solutions video is up here, but if you want to pick a problem off the final and try it out, we can do that. 10C from the practice final, you mean, I guess? Yeah. Let me see. Hold on. Let me pull that up here. Here it is. Okay. Are you talking about the practice final?
Yes.
Okay. Command. So this bad boy here, right? So, oh, okay. I gave you kind of a gross alpha here, right? Just to remind you guys that we didn't always have shortcuts to find the Z. So real quick, let's do a little bit of this. Is this a one tail or a two tail?
One.
Yeah, so it's so the claim is, or the thing we're testing is, has it increased So it's going to be a one tail up there. What's the area that's in this tail?
0.09.
0.09. That's what alpha means, right? So how do you figure out the z-score? This is the third step, by the way. So step C, right? Setting up the rejection region. So what z-score will this be? How do you figure that out? And you know, part B is actually showing you can use z-scores, right? And you have to do NP and NQ. You guys remember that? So we're just looking at part C. We've already, assuming we've done this, we've shown it's normal enough. How the shit do I find that z-score?
Would you look it up on the z-score chart?
Yeah, dude, you got to do the old fashioned way. What area is down here? Because that's all the chart understands. 9% up here, so there must be, if there's 9% up here, 91% down there. So if you look up 0.91, what's the closest you get for the z-score there? Again, Jeff, you're using the wrong, it's amazing. Sorry, guys. I got to admonish myself a bit because I keep using the wrong tool to write on this paper. It's driving me crazy. All right, and what's z-score? So somebody says the closest area they got is 0.9099. And what z-score is that?
1.34.
1.34? Yeah, 1.34. Okay, is that cool? It's like so cool, Jeff. So then what's the, sorry, what's the, in words, if Z star is,
Greater than 1.
yes, greater than 1.34, we can reject the ho, we can support the high, blah, 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 blah. Is that all right? So I got a little old school on you there, but you know I'm going to do that on the final. You know I am. I'm going to give you something that's not on the t-score chart. It's not in the little baby chart. It's not something you remember. It's just you got to look it up on the z-score chart like we did back in the old days. Way back when. Of course, in this year, it feels like it's been a freaking year since we did chapter 6. This is the first year that actually went for a decade. Way to go, 2020.
Once you complete that step, is that when you go back and look at the claim to figure out which words you use?
Not yet, because this is only setting up the rejection region. The next step is, did we fall into the rejection region or not? The next step is figure out what Z star is.
Okay.
Then you conclude, then you see, because now you know if you fell in here, you can reject the null. If you didn't fall in there, you fail to reject it. And you're right, if your claim is H1, you want to say support or fail to support. If your claim is HL, reject or fail to reject. Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay. Do we round z-scores? Yes. How much do you have to round a z-score? You have to. Because you got this crazy ass teacher that makes you use a piece of paper in the year 2000 something, Jeff. 2 places, because our piece of paper that we use only goes to 2 decimals, right? It's just so weird. I remember I had a teacher that still had logarithmic tables before we had calculators, kids. And now calculators have been around since I was a little tiny person. But before that, we had no calculators. We had tables for these things called logarithms. I don't know how many of you guys know the logarithms, but sorry, that's all, has nothing to do with us. I'm sorry. Anything else? And a valid question would be, can we just do this damn problem together, even though I know it's on the solutions video, Jeff? That's a valid thing you can ask, but you don't have to ask that.
For
Anything
question. Oh,
Oh, somebody's got a quote real quick. What do you guys think about this question? What's the standard deviation for this problem? I don't want to make anyone feel bad, but why is that a silly question? Because
There is no standard deviations for percentage problems.
Yeah, the percentage, we build it. We build it ourselves, and I really apologize. I don't want to make you feel bad. I understand, but for percentage problems, yeah, okay. You're good. You're good. I don't want to make you feel bad, but percentage problems, we create our standard deviation. They don't, holy crap, pen? What kind of, that's kind of cool, actually. I don't know what it's doing.
So are all those equations going to be like on the exam?
What do you guys think? Should I do that?
Yes, please.
Did I already say I did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did. So yeah, there'll be a whole sheet of formulas. And then right after those will be all the charts, just in case you need another copy.
I was just wondering, will the equations will be in like order from chapter 1 till chapter 10, right? Or it's chapter 9?
For the most part, yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Can we go
It
over
might not
problem number 4?
Oh, I see. And real quick, somebody just privately messaged me this, but no, you cannot use notes or homework for the final. I'm sorry, Nathan, which one?
4?
Oh, okay, 4. Let's see. Can you guys tell me? Oh, Jeff, now you can do it over here. There you go, buddy. What kind of problem is number 4?
Binomial.
Yeah, because there's an amount that believe this, so there must be a percentage that don't believe that. So can you identify N, P, and Q? Can you guys see that? I mean, a big part of this class especially, but a lot of math classes is what kind of problem is this? Because otherwise you'll try to do the wrong shit. I always have somebody create a confidence interval in the middle of a problem, has nothing, only make a confidence interval if I ask for a confidence interval. So sorry, just had to get that out there. But what's N?
35.
35. What's P?
9%.
9%. What's Q?
0.91.
91. Okay, I like it. All right, P and Q always have to make 1. So what's probably that 4 of them? Do you remember this formula? It's a beautiful little formula. I got 35 people. I want to
Choose 4.
there you go. Okay. And then so I got 4 successes and the rest. So what goes up here on this exponent?
31.
Yeah, the rest, 31, are failures. Dadgummit. Circle, go away. Does that sound familiar at all? I got 35 people, choose 4 of them to be successes. So I have 4 successes and 31 failures because I got 35 total people. And you just got to remember how to plug all that in your calculator. Anybody need help with the calculator? You guys good?
Yeah, can you show us how to get to choose 4 part 35, choose 4?
Yes, hold on. Let me pull that up here. All right, give it a minute. It takes it a while to wake up. There it is. Look at you go. Oh, wait. All right. It's taking it a while.
Actually, never mind. I remember how now.
Oh, man. I'm going to do it
Yes,
Nah.
please do it.
do it. So you got 35, right? 35. The choose is in math probability. There's choose. 35, choose 4. Now, I don't know if you have the newer calculator where I guess I got this set for older stuff, but where it's like 35 and then a big C and then a subscript 4, right? I don't know if you have it like that, but you got to remember hit the over arrow to come out of the subscript. Maybe I'll do this again. What was it? 09 to the 4th. Gather times 0.91 to the 31st. Bam. Now, if I do that again, oh shit. If you have the newer calculator, it'll look like this. Or, you know, newer RAM anyway. Is that all right? So if you have the newer one and you start putting it in, you've got to be careful. No, Jeff, you got to be careful to hit the right button. Doobie-doobie-doo. There you go, buddy. See, right now I'm in the subscript. See how it's got a little over arrow? It's like, oh, you better hit the over arrow, come back up here. All right, thank you, sir. And then I do 09 to the 4th power. Oh shit, I'm up there. I'm at the exponent. I better hit over, so come back down. Yeah, so you know, it's kind of nice that it makes it look like it's written on paper, but it also kind of sucks if you forget to come to hit the over arrow. It just makes everything just makes it really wrong. You guys, how's that? Okay.
How many places? How many? How do you want it rounded?
You guys tell me probabilities where this should be rounded to.
4 decimal places.
There you go. Watch out.
Okay.
So remember, way back at the beginning of the semester, I said the quick way to remember it is round everything to 4 places and you're good, except for z-scores, right? Because standard deviation has to be at least 3 places. P hat and Q has to be at least 3 places. Probability 4 places. So if you make everything 4 places, do you see how you're covered? So that was my suggestion long time ago. If you wanted to, it's up to you.
Can you do part B now?
Yeah, let me see. Let me go back here. Oh yeah, this is where things get more interesting. All right, let's see. What's the formula for the mean? So now what changed in part B?
512.
And
Yeah, so my N is different, but my P and my Q are the same. I just have more people. So what's the formula for the mean? It's a beautiful little formula.
NP.
NP. So you just do 512 times 0.09 and whatever the hell that is. 45.1 or something? I don't know.
46.08.
And then sigma. Is this cool? Square root of NPQ. Remember this stuff? Let's see, 36, about 6 something, 6.01. No, 6.1. I don't know. Is 6 close enough? Is 6 even right? I don't have a clue. 36. Actually, no, it's like closer to 7, maybe somewhere between 6 and 7.
6.476.
All right. It depends on what time of day it is, how much I can stand try to do in my head. Is that all right? So those, again, those formulas will be on the formula sheet. You probably should only use these formulas when you actually have an N, a P, and a Q. It's kind of a giveaway. There's a formula that's mu is sum of x, P of x. Remember that kind of formula? You should probably only use this formula when you have x's and P of x's. I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? 11. Okay, sure. So 11 was the chi-square problem. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. I am not going to put these here. That would not make any sense. I am not going to subtract number of A's and percentage of A's. So there's a problem in the homework where they tell you the percentage expected. You have to do what we're about to do before you do any subtractions and stuff. What am I about to do? What do I have to do here to fill in that expected? Sorry?
Multiply the percentages by n.
Yeah, so n here is 342. So I got to do 13% of 342, and that goes here, and so forth, right? And what's the observed number of A's?
51.
Yeah, just tell you, right? I gotta just tell you something. Like, come on, Jeff, just give me something here, buddy. Right, so now you can do 13% of 342, and that goes here, whatever that is. Is that okay, you guys with me? Oh, shit. Come on, calculator. So that's 44.46. Is that Q? Is that Q? This will be 68.6. Is that right? Where am I getting that from? I have no idea. Don't look at what I just wrote. Good Lord, Jeff. You really are tired. Let's see. 12.6. Is that right? 120. I don't know, Joe. What are you trying to do in your head, buddy? Because you should be able to.
68.4.
Oh, I see what I'm doing. I'm so silly. So it was 68.4. Okay, Jeff, you're having a great time here, buddy. What about C? So now I got to do 34% of 342 and so forth. I mean, this gets to a point where like, okay, I just have to multiply the percentage each time. And then the nice thing about these two is I've already done them, right? 68.4 and 44.46. Woohoo! Now, just to show you, oh, somebody's chatting at me. All right, thank you. Where are you at? There you are. Let me put you over here. Ah, crappity doo dah. Come with me. There we go. Come with me. All right, where are you? There you are. Do this. Now you are in my way. Let me show you real quick. Oh, wow. Okay, there we go. Just real quick. You don't have to do this. But if you wanted to, you could. So I could put in here 51, 63, 131, 60, 37, right? And then I could put in here 44.46. Oh, you want to see something really cool? I could put in here 0.2 times, no, Jeff, 0.2 times 342, right? I could actually do do you see that? I could do the math in the list. Ooh, sorry. But let me just put these other numbers in here. And then I want list 3 to be list 1 minus list 2, parentheses, list 1. That's my observed minus list 2. That's my expected squared. Bam! And then I want L4 to be those divided by expected, which is in list 2. Bam! And then you just copy that stuff down. Right? If you want to. You don't have to. You can just do it each step by step if you want. Doesn't matter. And now what I really want is the sum of L4. So if you don't remember, I could do this. I can go to list math sum L4. Bam. So let's see if anybody was following along. What the hell does this mean then? What is that?
Chi-squared.
Right? Oh,
That's my chi-square. I love it. Right? It's my chi-square. All right. So chi-square equals 5 point whatever the hell it was. I've already forgotten. 5.535. I like it. So that's like my Z star. How do I use this to figure out the rejection region? I like it. Somebody actually drew a little Jabba the Hutt on their thing. I appreciate that. You don't have to. They didn't get any brownie points. Oh, we can only see your face. I'm not sharing shit. Good job, Jeff. Thank you. You got to remember, I'm an old man. I'm not good with this technology. So here's Java. How do I figure out the chi that I have to beat? Alpha is 0.05. What's my degrees of freedom? Degrees of freedom?
4.
4. I love it. 5 categories. Categories -1. So degrees of freedom of 4, alpha 0.05. What's the chi-square critical here? What's the rejection region? I'm going to crowdsource this one. What do you guys think about that? Does everybody get 9.488? You guys get that?
That's what I got.
All right, make sure that you can get this on the chi-square table.
You're just looking at so at the top 0.05 and then go down 4, and that's where you're getting 9.488.
Yes,
Gotcha. Thank you.
you're welcome. So did we make it far enough away?
No.
Nope. So we have not found evidence that this group does not follow the expected pattern. Or you could say something about grades, right? We have not found evidence that this group did not get the expected grades, right? What do you guys think? Did I say this already? What does this look like it's trying to approximate? Does anyone have a clue?
It kind of looks like a normal curve because it goes from small to large and then back.
Yeah. So those are the approximate percentages for 5 categories for a normal curve. So this is really sort of a test to see how normal this is, or a test to see, can we say this did not follow a normal curve? You don't have to know that. I'm just pointing it out just as a curiosity, but we could have said we have not found evidence to reject that this follows a normal curve. But you don't have to say that. There's no reason for you to know that. Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else we want to focus on?
Can you go over 3B if it was in a situation where it becomes 1 minus?
Like, oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, of course. If, for example, in this problem, if I would have asked instead, so let's make an alternate universe, and in the alternate universe, Jeff likes purple. So let's say the alternate universe 3B is what's the probability X is greater than 5? So then what would that be? What do I do to get that? What is greater than 5?
Six and 7.
6 and 7. So what's the probability I get 6 or 7?
0.63.
Done. Yay. Did you even have to do this on this problem? What's greater than 3? 4, 5, 6, 7. So what's probably x greater than 3? Add up all these. So you didn't have to do this. It's just a shortcut. Does that make sense? No? Yes. Okay. Thank you. I get knocked down. I get up again. Am I ever going to learn? Let's see. Yeah, I did everything else. Yeah, okay. What do you have to remember about number 7? Well, this one gets interesting. How large a sample should be taken. So that's going to be one of those n equals equations, right? And for some reason, everybody, so remember this is going to be that z sigma over e squared. Do not make this 0.03. It's not a percentage. Do you guys see that? It's not 3%. So there's no reason to make it 0.03. No, 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 no. If this was a percentage problem and I say within 3%, then you make it 0.03. That's fine. That's more than fine. That's necessary. I'm just picking out random problems until somebody asks me a question. Did anybody have trouble with 5A? Did you guys try to do this one? If you put this into L1 and this into L2, which stuff is part A asking about?
L2.
So when you do one var stats, you have to tell it to do it on L2. So that's a mistake people make on that one.
For 5B, when we're doing y, are we writing what y is, or are we writing the equation for the line of best fit?
Those are the same question because without an input, y equals the equation that gives me y. So either way you look at it, it's going to be the mx plus b, or ax plus b. So yeah, what I want here is see what a is, see what b is, and then put the equation together and then write it here. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's got to be in the ax plus b form, but you're going to get the a and the b from the calculator. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think, didn't I, on the solutions video, I forgot to write it here, but I told you what R had to be greater than, right? I'm pretty sure I did. So on the final, I will have that. Because otherwise, no, I don't want to make breakout rooms. Otherwise, oh, what are some common mistakes students make on the final? Sorry, I'm only laughing because people have become very creative in the highly individualized mistakes. I don't know. For some reason, people suddenly forget how to do this kind of problem when this kind of problem should really be the easiest problem because we did so many of those. let me think. Is there anything I can say in general? I mean, there's nothing really. I will give you the 5 steps, by the way, here. I'm not going to make you remember them. You with me? I will give you the 5 steps. I can't off the top of my head come up with, there's nothing really that people always do. And, one big thing is if it's a probability question and you get a negative answer, don't stop there. Or if you get a number bigger than 1, that just always kills me. The probability of picking a green card is 118%. I'm like, wait, what? No. So, I mean, that's all of math, though, is just doing a problem, stepping back, getting out of the numbers and going, does what I just said make sense? Does it make sense? Right? It's like that thing with the shed that's negative feet on a side. And I'm like, I don't want to go in that shed. What's going to happen to me? Oh, you're welcome. Are you fine? Wait. Are you fine with leaving it as a fraction? Would you like it as a percent? Oh, for like a probability question? For probability question, it could be either way. You've got to show me the work like you set up the ratio. Will you provide the formulas? Oh, geez, no, I'm not going to be that nice. Good Lord. Yeah, they're going to be one big old thing of formulas, but they're basically going to be in order for the most part. I mean, yeah, but I'm not going to put them next to each problem. You have to know when to use which formula. So I don't make you memorize formulas. I make you recognize formulas. So get out of the way.
For number two, A, like 2A, if it was with replacement, would the setup be 3/6 and then 3/6 again?
Yes, good. Because you would drop the first one back in, so there would still be 6 pieces of paper. And then part B would have the same answer. Right? 3/6 times 3/6.
Okay.
If it was with replacement, yeah. Because with replacement, nothing changes. It kind of resets because you undo the first you pick and then you drop it back in. So you kind of undid it. So it resets everything.
Could you go over an example problem of a relative frequency distribution?
Sorry. Yeah. Let me see. Oh yeah, I didn't really have any of those on here, did I? So back in the day, we would have, I would give you a bunch of data. I'm not really sure what you're wanting from me right now necessarily, but let's say my data was this. This is very small, but to figure out your class width, you'd have to do the range divided by the number of classes. Does that all sound familiar?
Yeah, it does.
So it would be 3, so I'd go 38, and this would be 41, and this would be 40, right? Does that sound? Become a 43, okay. So I keep adding 3, I keep adding 3, I keep adding 3, blah, 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 blah. And then you just count. So in this case, there's 2 there. That's my frequency, blah, blah, blah. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 2 out of 6 is my relative frequency. So 1/3 of the data is in this first class. Look how quick I put that together. That's pretty good. That's right. It's a really pathetic little sample, but oh well. Poor little thing. More than likely, to be honest, if I put a histogram problem on the final, it would be a histogram that's already created, and I'll ask you some questions about it. Especially because I didn't really put a histogram problem on the practice final itself. Yeah.
I just wanted to be sure because I after I did the practice final, I was like, it just hit me like, is he gonna ask me like, do I have to like create a histogram and create a relative frequency distribution?
No, I'm not going to do that. I'll tell you right now. I won't do that to you.
Okay.
So you'd be
Thanks.
very happy about that. You're welcome. So when you get the final and there's a histogram problem, no, I'm joking. There won't be. You'll go, you. It's like, too bad. All right, you guys all questioned out? What about this question here? I'll tell you this right now. You see this question, you do not say a damn thing about area. You don't say anything about area because two reasons. Z-score don't tell me area. Z-score chart tell me area, right? I know my grammar's bad. I don't care. And I didn't say it's normal. So you couldn't, even if you wanted to, you couldn't do it because you don't know if it's normal or not. So what is the only thing that this Z-score tells me directly?
That is 2.14 standard deviations above the mean.
That's it. That's it. Come on. Let's get above 50%, getting that question right. Let's do it. We could do it. I'm so hopeful. I think part of your brain just says, he can't, no, he must want more from me. No, this is no, I don't want, no. Just that. Z-scores are so important in beginning statistics. How many questions are on the final? Yeah, somewhere in the 20s, so like 25 or something. So roughly, counting A through J stuff, right? Because I hate it when a teacher says 5 questions and they're all A through J. And you're like, that's not 5 questions, dude. What the shit? So again, in case you checked in late, our final's on Wednesday. It's up in the Canvas modules for the link for the Zoom meeting. And you're going to have your camera on. And you'll take it entirely during the Zoom meeting. So it's not going to be like the quizzes. I think our first quiz was like that, right? Where we had to do it in class. You guys remember that? It's not awkward at all. It's fantastic. So we'll do that. BYOC, bring your own cookies. BYOB, bring your own beverage. Because I normally would bring cookies for the day of the final, but I can't do that. So I'm going to bring cookies for myself. All right.
What do you do when you're done? Do you just scan it and get out of there? That's it?
Oh, yeah, pretty much. I thought you meant me. I'm like, what? Yeah, when you're done, you scan it and you submit it. It's going to be just like the quiz. It's going to have a submit final here, just like you do with the quizzes, right? Yeah. And so make sure you understand that the final starts. Oh, what time did the final start again? I forgot.
1:45.
Yeah, 1:45. So let me put that up here again. So under the modules, what's nice is it starts at 1:45. So if you get here when we normally start, then you're perfect. Get here at 1:30. That's a really good idea. 1:45 to 3:45, you'll have the entire time. Coolness. So yeah, I normally make it about 5 minutes past this that it's due, just in case you take all the way to 3:45 and then you have technical difficulties. Are you with me? All right. There's that link. I'll be in there at 12:30. Holy macaronis. Anybody else have questions? Because I have brought nothing. I bring nothing to the table.
I had a question about some previous homework.
Yes.
11.2, number 72.
All right, let me see. Oh, is that the one? I think that sounds familiar. That's the one that everybody loves to hate. Let me see. Poor little prob. All right, let me share this. Or maybe it's not the one. This is the one about six-sided die. This one?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the question? So I think part of the problem is they just call this frequency, but remember what frequency means. How frequently we saw something show up in these categories. So what's a better name for this column for a goodness of fit test?
Observed.
Yeah. So that seems to have thrown some people off, right? So these are the observed. And then how do I figure out the expected? Pretend like that's the word observed. Oh, crap, whatever. These are observed. There you go. How do we get the expected frequency? What would it mean if the die is fair?
They're all
Would you
equal.
expect? Yeah, they're all equal. So if you roll it 120 times, how many ones would you expect?
20.
20. Beautiful. All the way down. It's 20s all the way down. And then you got observed minus expected squared and observed minus expected squared over E and blah, 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 blah. All right. They don't tell you what alpha is. So what do you know alpha is?
0.05.
Yes. The people out there that are finding p-values for this shit, you better stop doing that. Yeah, and don't use this stupid thing. Of course, you do it the way we did it in class. We don't use technology so much because we're the ones supposed to be learning, not our calculators. Whatever, Jeff. Oh. There you go. Yeah, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't aspire. Do not aspire to be button pushers. I like that. Don't be just a button, but you could be a button wearer. That's fine. Right? Just don't be a button pusher. Even if you go to the casino, pull that crank. Don't push the button. Pull the bar if they have one. No, yeah. I hate going to casinos. I really do. Unless I play some cards. It's so depressing in there. Anyway, the free drinks are nice because they want my judgment to be impaired, but that's all right. Anything else, guys, besides letting me talk about getting drunk at a casino? Which I've certainly never done.
For 5D, that's where you that's where you plug in, like, so it says half a mile. That's where you plug half a mile into the equation. Or do you honestly?
Yeah. Because miles to Bronx Pizza is my X variable, right? So you're going to plug 0.5 in for X.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the output will be weight. Hopefully everyone understands this is completely for entertainment. This is not. Everything here is made up except I used to be this one. Way back in the day. And I do blame the fact that I ate a lot of Bronx Pizza. So good. Oh my God. Sorry. No, I don't own stock. They're not as good as they used to be, but they're still good. So it's kind of nice to, I'm almost certain that quite a few of you have a final tomorrow. Is that true? At least one? I'm giving two finals. Yeah, I'm giving two finals tomorrow. Thankfully, Wednesday, our finals a little bit later. Does anybody have a final on Wednesday before our final? Oh, both of your finals are on Wednesday. Oh, geez. Anybody have three finals on a single day? No? Okay. That's the worst, of course. And they used to be, they would schedule the final and the next final would start at the same time the first final ended. Do you understand? And teachers are very territorial. The one, I'll never forget, the one teacher tried to come in. I'm like, these guys aren't done yet. We got to get in there. It was pathetic. This guy was upset. I'm like, I'm here. You'll wait. That's simple. So anyway, thankfully they have a buffer zone now. And now it doesn't matter as much because everything's online. That was a better story than me getting drunk at a casino, but maybe not quite as interesting. Anybody else? Any other questions, guys?
Will there be any problems where we have to like algebraically solve for probability? Like we're given probability of A given B? And like,
yeah, could be.
Yeah.
So the actual final won't necessarily be exactly like the practice final. And there could be questions on the actual final that aren't here. There might be probability questions. There are probability questions here, aren't there? But they might be ones like Janix just said. I could certainly give you a problem where I tell you probability of A is 0.7, probably B is 0.2, and probably A given B is this. And what's probably of A or B? And, oh, shit. Definitely. And will all the probability formulas be on there? Yes, they will. So going back to the earlier question about what's something that people do, the common mistake, and the common mistake is to not just take a second and figure out what kind of problem it is you're working with. Like I said earlier, somebody will make a confidence interval in the middle of doing a hypothesis test. I'm like, what? Why? I didn't ask for a confidence interval. Why would you do that? Or you get an answer like, you talk to 5 people, how many do you expect? And you get 7. I'm like, you only have 5 people. So it's this whole idea of just making sure your answer makes physical sense. Just take a second and make sure it makes physical sense, right? Hey, did anybody already take a final?
I had one this morning.
Yeah. Bunch of dipshit teachers. They should know better. It's kind of illegal to have already given a final before finals week, but oh well. You have what? You have 2 finals today? Good Lord, man. If a teacher tries to make you take a final that's not during the scheduled final exam time and it somehow hurts you, like it impacts you, you have every right to complain. That's not something that they're supposed to do. There's a very good reason we do that, so that everybody knows when the final's going to happen, they can plan for it. And other teachers, anyway, sorry, that's enough for me. Oh, I see. Even then, they're supposed to stick to a schedule because otherwise you might be stepping on the toes of other courses and what you have to do for them. Anyway, I'll stop. All right, guys. If nobody has questions, are we just getting, you just want to sit here? Let's see. Oh no, come on. You wouldn't get penalized for that. I heard a story about a teacher failed a student because their little brother came in the room to ask a question. And I'm like, holy shit. So yeah, I understand if things like that happen, other people might be in the house. Some of you guys have babies and the babies just want to be near you sometimes. I'm pretty sure the babies are not like stats wizards that'll just be whispering the right answers to you. That would be interesting. Mama, the R is too small. It's like, no, that's probably not going to happen. If it does, I want to know. I want to see that. Little baby on YouTube. Welcome, I will now tutor you. All right. Oh man, I'm actually surprised I haven't gone more insane than I have, to be honest. Of course, that's relative to my own perception. So, oh well, who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'll go make me some lunch while you guys think about more questions. Anybody have more questions?
I had a question. Okay, let's see if we can get the words. So I think Janik said it was like the given problem. I think you did it on the one where we had probability, where you gave us like everything, but then we had to figure out something from something.
Sure. Yeah, so if for example, I could give you the probability of A or B is 0.8. And the probability of A is 0.6, and the probability of B given A is shit. I gotta make this work. I don't know, 0.15, let's say. Oh geez, let's find out. If I'm trying to make this up out of nowhere, it might come out gross, but I will. And I ask you what's probably a B.
Could you share your screen, please?
Oh, thank you. I guess I could. I've heard that showing you what I'm doing helps, but I don't know. So I can give you all this, right? So how the hell would you do that? So so there's no formula for this. Are you with me? There's no real formula for this, correct? But there is a formula for this. What's the formula for this guy?
Probability of A plus probability of B minus probability of A and B.
All right. So I know this. I know this. If I just knew this, I could solve for that. Do you guys see that? So if I'm asking you a question and there's no real formula for what I'm asking you, take a minute and think, is there a formula for something he told me? And then does the thing show up that I'm interested in? So what do I still need to figure out? Before I can figure out what this is, I need to figure out what this is. Did I give you a way to figure this out?
Probability of B given A.
Yeah, so I can multiply these guys, right? Probability of A and B equals probability of A times probability of B given A. So I just multiply these guys. I'm very curious now if I made a problem that would work. So 0.09. 0.09, I think this might work. 0.89. Yeah, it works. How about that? I made one problem that works. So now I can throw everything in. So I would throw in there, see if I can get down here. 0.6 plus probability of B, probability of A or B is 0.8 minus, you multiply these and you get 0.09. You can double check me on that. And then can't you solve for this? So that's the kind of problem you're talking about, right, Geneva? I think you were asking me that.
Yes, that is.
Yeah. Yep. So that's how you do that. So it's always, if there's a formula for what I ask you, write it and then see, what do I know? What do I not know? If there's not, is there a formula for something I tell you? Write it and then see, does that help me somehow? That's kind of a general math idea, all of math. There's quite a few times that happens. What time is it? Uh-oh, it's 66.6 degrees outside. That's weird. I keep looking over here because I have two monitors and you guys are on that monitor. And my little camera thingamajig is right there. Hee hee. Get knocked down. I get up again. I may ever kind of learn. I get knocked down. That's my song. My song. I get knocked down. I get up again. Am I ever gonna learn? I get knocked down. Anything else, guys? Are you guys
For the, I think it's like P25, and then
Oh
you
yeah.
fig-
Yeah, sorry.
I think you figure out what it is. I think that's the, yeah. Like, okay.
Yeah, so if I ask you, like I give you standard normal, which means a z-squared distribution, right? And I ask you what's P25, well, what's that look like on the picture? Where would that be? What does that stand for?
25%.
25th percentile.
Okay.
So where would that be? Would that be to the over here? Would it be over there?
To the left.
Yeah.
To the left. That's right. And this, of course, is 25. And that's how you find the z-score. That's an area, so it's up there. So you look that up in the body of the chart, right? Do you know what that is, Jeff? No, I have no idea what that is. 0.67 would be, I can't remember now. Shoot. Oh, well, too bad for me. Is that 0.67? No. Could it be? It is. All right. Sorry, I'm a geek. Somehow I remembered this. That's so weird. Well, I mean, that it does make sense that I would know this, because what is this another name for? P25.
The first quartile.
First quartile. So, you know, if you're an okay stats teacher, you probably will know the z-scores that represent the quartiles. You don't have to memorize that, obviously. You just look it up. Is that cool? Can you find that z-score? Do you agree with me on that? Do you concur? Okay. Wow. Wow. Whoa. Sorry. I don't have much else to do. I'm just going to play around a bit. Let's see. That's interesting. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to do that. I'm supposed to just highlight. You don't highlight. All right, fine. Please release me. Let me go. I don't know if you guys don't believe me. I have nothing planned. So if you have no questions, that's terrible, Jeff. Oh, well, that's terrible. All right, that's not bad. It's my little sword ball. Yeah, yeah. Purple dot boy. That's purple dot boy. Oh, I got a chat. Can you scroll down and do P of B problem? Which one's that? P of B.
That one right there. You just skipped it. The algebraic one. Yeah, just that one. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, sure.
How do I solve for this? Well, I can do it two different ways. I can put these together, let's say, right? Right, good. Remember algebra, you simplify one side. 0.6 minus 0.09 is 0.51. And then I subtract 0.51 from both sides. So then I get P of B equals 0.29. Whenever I do these problems, I want a PB and J, but all right. Peanut butter. And again, if you wanted to, you can put an X here to make it look even more algebraic because it's a thing you don't know, right? You're just trying to solve for the thing you don't know. Straight up good old algebra.
We're gonna have to, well, it might be the box and the whiskers that are, what is it?
No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah, you don't have to do that.
Okay.
Trying to show you why I'm not an artist. Would be a
Will there be a stem and leaf plot on the final?
could be,
Okay.
but you know, those have to be nice, right? If I put a stem and leaf on there, I would hope that most of you would go, "Oh, cool." Oh, most of it's done. Yeah, most of the final's done. I haven't really finished it up yet. There's always something I want to change on the morning of. All right, maybe I should call it. And then you could have left before now if anybody's like, come on, you could have just left. People are leaving right now. I can see their little bubbles popping. Pop. All right, so I have my extra office hours tomorrow afternoon. I pointed that out to you, right? It's up in Canvas. There's a link for that. And then of course our final is on Wednesday. So I'll see you sometime over the next couple days. Can I use, I don't know what that means. What is that? Notability. I don't know what that means. The app. Okay, I don't know what that means. Notability. Oh, I see. I don't know. So it's just sort of like what I use when I'm writing is what I've been doing for the homework. Yeah, I see. Yeah, that's fine. You're gonna have to show me all your work anyway. So it's all good. You guys doing all right? Anybody? Anybody? You guys all right? I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna get some lunch.
Thank you, Professor. Bye.
See you.